Folks, if you guys don't believe that something special isn't happening with this baseball team right now, I don't know if there's just ever going to be enough proof for you. Steel Sermon in the house Sunday afternoon with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, link in the description box. I absolutely love this team, man. I love it. The Pirates have won 7 in a row, 13 of their last 18 games, and just got done sweeping the Reds in a 4-game series. You know, like I said, I know it's the Reds. I know they're one of the worst teams in baseball. I get that. But do you know how hard it is to play 17 straight games, win 13 of those games all in a row? Well, 17 straight games and win 13 of them. And how hard it is to sweep a 4-game series? It is not easy. Because let me tell you, something that my dad used to tell me, and he still does tell me this. You know how you win baseball games and much less a World Series? You know how you win consistent in baseball? Pitching, 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 as it says in the title. And the Pirates got plenty of that. 12 out of the last 13 starts that this starting rotation has had have all been quality starts. And the only one they didn't have was last night when Rich Hill pitched. He only went 5 innings. He barely missed it. And what happened today in today's 2-0 shutout of the Reds? Vince Velasquez only went out there and pitched 7 innings. Can you believe this starting rotation? Thursday, Roansy Contreras, phenomenal game. 6 2/3, limited the damage, and all the Pirates needed were really just back-to-back homers by Connor Joe and Jack Sawinski, who I'm going to be getting into later in this video. An outstanding double play turned by Ke'Bryan Hayes on a pick play at third base. And the Buccos take that 4-3. Holderman had a little bit of a rough 8th inning Friday night, but still got the hold nonetheless. David Bednar does what he does, which is close out games and gets the save. Friday, as I said in last night's video, Mitch Keller, phenomenal game. 6 innings, gave up the 2 runs. The offense was able to spot him. And that was 11 straight quality starts by the rotation. Mark Mathias once again showing why he could actually be decent at second base with a double. Drove in, well, not with a double, but with an error really. But the fact that this guy is just hitting the ball is impressive in itself. Carlos Santana was the one who hit the double. And like I said, this team is winning games, and they're winning it in so many different ways. They didn't need to go out there and score 33 runs in 3 games against the Reds, or 33 runs in 4 games against the Reds in this case. The Pirates only scored 12 runs this entire series against the Reds, and we still swept them. That is just how good this defense is playing, aside from a couple sloppy moments, but how especially good this pitching is. And you see it with fundamentals as well. Andrew McCutchen hustling around the bases Friday night to score on that double by Santana. And by the way, McCutchen this year is our best hitter so far. A 36-year-old veteran coming back to Pittsburgh is our best hitter so far. which speaks volumes about how this team is performing, the atmosphere that he brings to the clubhouse, and just the overall demeanor of this team. Andrew McCutchen this year is batting .310, a 1.003 OPS, and he has 4 homers, 9 RBIs, and stole 3 bags. And the Pirates are currently top 5 in every offensive category. It's just a thing of beauty, man. Like, even when the Bucks were finally winning games when I was in my upperclassmen years of high school and my early years of college, even those teams didn't play like this. I seriously can't believe how well this team is playing right now. But let's get on to the back end of the bullpen. And by the way, today, as I said, Vince Velasquez has 7 innings for him today, with McCutchen getting an RBI on a double play, so another ribby for him. The only thing I can really say for today is Brian Reynolds, just take care. He was placed on bereavement today. A family member of his passed away, so, always family is bigger than a game of baseball. So Brian Reynolds, take care. Take however much time you need. Maybe that would actually explain why Brian Reynolds has been slumping for a bit, because, to be fair, anyone would be thrown off after something like that. I know that firsthand personally. But the back end of the bullpen, man, is just phenomenal. Colin Holderman is looking like the best reliever that I've ever seen this franchise have. Aside from, Holderman and Bednar both lead in their respective duties with pitching. They lead the league in saves and holds. It's like Mark Melancon and Jason Grilli back in the day, who was also a deadly 1-2 punch for this bullpen. And then that Adam Frazier trade that we made back in the summer of 2021, there was a reason I came on YouTube and I told everybody that, hey, this is not a big loss for the Pirates trading Adam Frazier. Because if you're serious about going into a deep rebuild and seeing where your franchise is going to be in the next half decade or even the next decade or so, you don't build that around a guy who's in his early 30s. And what did we get from San Diego in that trade? We only got Jack Sawinski, who continues to just hit the cover off the ball, man. It's safe to say that he is broken out of his slump. And he's developing into a pretty good fielder as well. And we got Tupacina Mercano in that trade as well, who's also hitting the cover off the ball. So that just adds a better problem to have with the middle of the infield right now in O'Neal Cruz's absence. And hey, I love O'Neal Cruz. He's probably my favorite player on the team right now. But honestly, losing him could actually be a blessing in disguise for the time being. Because like I said, this opens up so many possibilities with the middle of the infield, and it gives us a lot of good experiments right now. Do we need O'Neal Cruz? Absolutely we do. But you see Rodolfo Castro producing at second base. Up until Thursday, every game that he started at second base since the injury, he recorded a base hit. Ji-Hwan Bae can play the middle of the infield well. Personally, I stand by my statement. Put the guy in center field. He seems to play better there. Mark Mathias has been a pleasant surprise so far after a rocky start for him. And now you get Tupacina Marcano developing. So honestly, yes, O'Neal Cruz should be the everyday shortstop in my opinion. But it's a really good problem to have with the depth that we have at second base. Who's going to play it every day? Because now you have proven guys who can all play second base well. And it is absolutely amazing to see. And the pitching, like the title of this video says, pitching, 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 pitching. I don't need to say anything else other than David Bednar and Colin Holderman, and I could really just end it there. But how about Roansy Contreras? How about Mitch Keller? How about even Vince Velasquez and Rich Hill? How about this starting rotation so far? It is amazing. And you know, we all know that Rich Hill and Vince Velasquez aren't going to be here long term. Because down in the farm, we got Luis Ortiz, we got Mike Burrows. Those guys are going to be called up eventually. We got Bubba Chandler as well. This rotation, if they keep producing like this year, and we bring up even one of those guys, it'll most likely be Luis Ortiz, who is killing it in Indianapolis right now. Can you imagine what this rotation is going to be like moving forward? It is so fun to think about, man. It really is. Ben Cherington, I mean, I'm going to make a separate video about Ben Cherington, hopefully by tomorrow or Tuesday, because, you know, for as great of a sweep and as great of a 7-game winning streak that this is right now, it is currently the longest winning streak in baseball, by the way. But for as great as this winning streak is, we do have a very big test coming up. The Dodgers are coming to PNC Park on Tuesday night for a 3-game series. And hey, you know, I know the Dodgers are a little vulnerable right now. I know the Dodgers are playing, you know, pretty bad right now. I know they're slumping. They had a tough series in Chicago against the Cubs. But you know what? It's still the team that has the highest payroll in baseball, the team that spends the most in baseball, and it is still the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you can never take them lightly. It's the same way that I felt about when the Astros came to PNC Park a few weeks ago. You can never sleep on teams like Houston and LA. So with the Bucks, I just think that the rotation just needs to keep doing what it's doing and take advantage of a slumping team. Take advantage of the fact that these guys' bats just aren't producing. And the bullpen, I just don't think needs an explanation. Now, obviously, yes, you're going to have to score more than, 3 runs a game on average because, 33 runs in 3 games in Denver, that's an average of 11 runs. Went down drastically this weekend. 12 runs in 4 games, that's 3 runs a game. So obviously we're going to need to score way more than 3 runs a game to beat LA, but the pitching, wow. I am just absolutely in love with this pitching. The off-speed pitches are phenomenal. The only thing that I really don't like is that every curveball they throw is hanging and inside. It looks a little hittable at times, but when the heat's brought in with the four-seamers, it is there. It is next to unhittable. They're painting the corners. They're hitting the edges. The sweepers are just phenomenal. The changeups are next to unhittable. The back foot sliders fools them every single time. I don't think I have ever seen the Pirates pitching be this good before. I really don't think so. Even when we had Garrett Cole at the beginning of his career. I don't think the pitching for this team has ever been this good. And I absolutely love it. Like I said at the beginning, I love this team, man. I absolutely love it. And I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it enough. I try not to get ahead of myself, and I try not to get ahead of the team. I'm not sitting down here saying, yes, this team's going to be in the playoffs. Yes, we're going to win the NL Central for the first time. I ain't saying that. I'm just enjoying it right now for what it is. And I am saying all the Pirates need to do with this strong and amazing April that we've had is that we just need to be okay. Not even great, not even, amazing like we are right now. All we need to do is just be okay, like hover over 500 or even be at 500 by the time August hits when O'Neal Cruz is expected to return. And when that happens, I love our chances of not only making the playoffs, but winning the division. Wrap your mind around that, Pirates fans. This team could be a division champion in what's supposed to be a rebuild year. Now it's looking like it's one of the last years of the rebuild. I guess everyone was right now by saying the Pirates are going to be competitive again by 2023. Well, it is late April of 2023, and this team is 16-7. We could be 17-6 if it wasn't for that terrible call by Derek Shelton last Sunday in St. Louis to put Will Crowe out there in extra innings. And we could be on, an 8-game winning streak. But I'm not complaining too much about that. Back-to-back sweeps. We already have 4 sweeps on the season. Going into last season, Derek Shelton's squad had never swept a single opponent. We have 4 sweeps on the season already. We swept the Red Sox at Fenway. 3 sweeps, I'm sorry. 3 sweeps. We swept the Reds, but still, that's incredible. Swept the Red Sox at Fenway. Swept the Rockies in Denver, and now we just swept the Reds. I absolutely love this team, man. I absolutely love it. Just wow. And like I said, 16-7, that's our best record at this juncture of the season since 1992, the last time the Pirates won the division. We were still in the NL East back then. And that was our 3rd straight division title, our 3rd straight trip to the NLCS. It's exciting to think about, man. I love coming on here talking about the Pirates like this. Usually I'm ranting about them. Usually I'm raving about them. But like I said, these are the videos I want to be making about the Pirates, and I've made quite a bit of them already. I understand people like seeing me get emotional and yell and scream about the Pirates. I get that. I know it's funny to some people, but sitting down here with a big old grin on my face, watching this team play good and even great baseball, that is what I want to talk about when it comes to the Pirates. So yeah, I welcome the Dodgers on in. We have a day off tomorrow. It's our first day off in a couple of weeks. We just played 17 straight games in a row. We won 13 of them. That's right, we've won 13 of them. Can you believe that? 13-4 in 17 games. How often do you hear about that? But I'm not taking the Dodgers lightly because, like I said, at the end of the day, it's still the Dodgers. They still spend the most out of every team in baseball. They have the highest payroll. They still have a stacked roster and a great pitching staff and a great team all around. They are definitely going to give us a hard time. But hey, I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but remember what happened the last time we played the Dodgers? We went to Dodger Stadium and swept them. We took 5 out of 6 against LA last year. The Dodgers won 111 games last year. We lost 100 games last year. Can you imagine if we had that same energy that we had against LA last year and we play them now? I love our chances of beating the Dodgers, man. But like I said, I'm not taking them lightly. It's still going to be a very big series for us. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Buccos sweep the Reds. It is fun to be a Pirates fan right now, man. It is absolutely fun. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the day. May God be with you all. Go Bucks, baby!